Now, we live in a world and we live in an evangelicalism that is always off balance. I mean, you can say that about all of us. That we're like a pendulum and we swing back and forth. Well, we're in a time now, we live in a very, very superficial age when people are driven by feelings and emotions and songs and all sorts of things. What we need to be is a people of understanding. Not just emotion, but a people of understanding. We must understand who God is. We must understand what we were before Christ. We must understand what Christ has done for us. And the more we grow in that knowledge, you see, the more motivated we will be to live the Christian life. Let me give you an example. If I handed you a bologna sandwich at lunch, would you kiss my hands, weeping? Would you fall down on the floor, grab my hands, kiss them, and weep, saying, "Thank you, thank you, thank you"? Of course you wouldn't. But there are places in the third world where if I gave a bologna sandwich out, they would do just that. They would fall down on their knees and cry out and kiss my hands. Why? Because of their need. Because of their need. Now, why do men not appreciate the cross? Because they do not recognize their need. Why do they not recognize their need? Because it seems out of style for preachers to talk about how sinful everyone is, how needy they truly are. You see, when it is laid out before you how sinful you are, and you realize you have no hope whatsoever but in Christ, then Christ will become precious to you. But how can you know how sinful you are unless someone tells you about God? Isn't it amazing? I would wager that most of you in this room who have been Christians for many years have never sat in a church that took you through the attributes of God for more than a few weeks. How many of you have ever studied the attributes of God, who God is? According to Jeremiah chapter 9, it's the most important information, it's the most important knowledge you can have is who is God. As a matter of fact, Psalms tells us that if you don't have the knowledge of God, you will do all sorts of things in His name that are wrong. Yet few pastors, few preachers, few seminaries teach on the attributes of God. So how can you know how sinful you are unless you know who God is? You see how it's all connected? One of the reasons we have no motivation in our life, or little motivation to live the Christian life, is because my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. They do not understand who God is. They do not understand who they were. They do not understand what Christ has done. And they do not understand what they have become. And they do not understand the future that is waiting for them. And therefore, they lack all the drive and emotion to truly give their lives to Christ. We live in an age that says, I don't want none of that doctrine stuff. I just want Jesus. I don't want any of that theology stuff. I just want God. Well, there's a problem there. When you say, I don't want theology, I just want God, you're saying, I want all the benefits of God, but I don't want to know anything about Him. When you say, I just want Jesus, I don't want any doctrine, doctrine comes from a Hebrew word meaning teaching. You're saying, I want all the benefits of Jesus, but I don't want any of His teaching.